in my office. Yeah. Well, it's the off night, folks. You came on a great day. Although the Lions lost, I won. Yes, a big $5. There you go, folks. There's always positivity. Look at the just be positive in life. That you're gonna even the Lions helped me win this. Okay. But the thing is, we have some great show for you today. We have a fascinating discussion that's going to come up, and we're going to talk about people who have passed away, and also people who are living. And it's all about. Oh, I appreciate that. Powered by pizza. All right, well, we're going to get on to Mr. Mark Sweetman right now, who is your host. Please, Mark Sweetman.
Hey, all right. My Trump dance. Who does that? Okay, Trump is
You like that fisheye effect, don't you?
I hadn't thought about that at all. But you're right. That is a fisheye effect. I can't change it. It's I'm using Jason's iPad. He gave Sam an iPad. He gave Sam an iPad. He gave me an iPad, and I like it because all the troubles I had with my Chromebook that I was using, I don't have with his, but I do have the fisheye effect.
Not bad. Do you remember in SCTV they had John Candy and Eugene Levy would do that thing with the camera?
Fisheye theater.
They always go to they're doing zoom in all like this.
Yeah. I remember that.
That's pretty good. Hey, I wanted to mention. Do we mention James Darren when he passed away?
We did not.
Oh, okay. James Darren, who had a big effect on me as a kid because of the Time Tunnel. Great actor, singer, also in Gidget.
He was Moondoggy and Gidget.
And he was also in one of the greatest action films of all time, The Guns of Navarone.
Yep.
And he was in one of the films that my brother and I continually watch, The Lively Set, which is about an engineer up in Michigan Tech.
Hey, you know what? Bring that up. Let's get to Susan and bring that up again when Sam's with us, because I'm sure Sam will have a story.
Okay. Gotta have it. All right.
You know what I mean? That's what Sam is here for. He's here for these brush with showbiz stories that he always gives us.
Oh my God. Yeah. The man's been brushing with showbiz for 40 years now. So
absolutely. So let's bring Susan out here. Oh no, that's not Susan. Let's get him out of here. Let's get Susan out here. Here we go. There she is.
All right.
Hi.
Hello, my dear. Good to see you.
Hello.
Maybe you need your eyes checked. 2 S's. You brought up Sam instead of Susan.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's hard doing tech and on camera at the same time. It's just.
No, it's not.
Are you ready? Are you ready to give us our poem?
I have your poem right here.
Okay, let me tell the audience. Anybody who's new,
poem right here is Paul Revere, and
anybody who's new to our show, Susan reads a poem based on the news headlines, and we say we use it as our agenda for topics. I think we've maybe done it 3 times in 4 years that we've actually.
Susan doesn't just read the poem. Susan writes the poem.
Oh yeah, she writes the poem. Yeah, she writes the poem. She reads the poem.
If you'd like to write one for me to read, I'll do that.
No. She is a very talented poet, and.
Oh, thanks. I hope this lives up to your glorifying of my artistic ability.
I read it. I read it already. Right,
here's your poem. The Emmys last night, did your favorites win? I did not watch because I'd rather sit on a pin. Shogun, The Bear, and Hack star Gene Smart. Congrats to the winners. Now go make more art. Assassination thwarted? Can it really be true? The count's going up, Donald. Attempt number 2. Ryan Wesley Ruth, tell me, what were you thinking? Let's not make Trump a martyr. What have you been drinking? James Earl Jones died on the 9th of September. His characters we love and we will always remember. Plus that big voice will live on, so there's no need to cry. Jones made a deal with Ukrainian re-speecher to live on in AI. That's your poem.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So, good job. Good job. Thank you.
I would have put him in last week's poem, James Earl Jones, but he died and didn't get the news till almost showtime. So I wanted to make a tribute to him.
Got it.
Thank you very much. Well,
you're welcome very much.
Anyway, we're gonna
bring everybody out. We're gonna say hi.
We'll bring it. Yeah, I know you like to say hi before you have to get up. Oh, you're so cute. All right, here we go. Here's Sam Greenfield. Sam Greenfield, are you there?
He's not.
Right here.
Oh, there. Oh, yeah.
Get well, Sam.
I'm wearing the newest in Jewish headwear. Rabbi on the run.
Rabbi on the run.
Anyway, let's.
Aaron,
let me get Jason out here.
Yes, please.
For the story. Here's Jason Grant, our ranting comic. What is wrong? What's with your picture there? That's
he's getting ready for Halloween.
That's Dog Day afternoon. We bring
the ghost look. There he is.
There we go.
We talk about Dog Day afternoon at least once a month. We should probably watch it and do a little review of it or something.
Well, unfortunately, August is over, but that is when that event took place in one afternoon in August. Which normally I don't really think about Thanksgiving. August is my two favorite holidays, which are, of course, Hiroshima and Nagasaki Day, which I celebrate with copious amounts of barbecue. But at any rate, back to the topic at hand. Nice poem, Susan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for remembering U of M U of M attendee, James Earl Jones. He's one of my two favorite U of M thespians, the other being Strother Martin. Also a man possessed of a certain vocal talent.
What we have here
is
a failure
to communicate. That Saturday Night Live skit was so funny when he hosted, many years ago. And
Strother Martin did?
And they did,
that.
They did the language box. If anybody ever took a foreign language and you had to go in the box, what we have here is a failure to communicate bilingually.
Oh, that's great. That's hysterical.
And the man, Strother, while he was here, was on our swimming and diving team, where he was a champion Letterman diver. Who knew?
Well, I'm going to say goodbye to you all because my son leaves this week and I want to spend a little time. We're watching a movie, so we're in the middle of it, and have a good show.
Thanks for the poem. See you later.
There you go.
Bye.
Tell Gabe I said hi.
So where are you sending the son off to? Someplace exciting and warm and
he's
fun
going back
in the winter months?
He's going back to North Hollywood.
Well, there you go. Take me with you.
I'll be out there in October. Our shows will be hosted from Los Angeles for the month of October.
From the Comedy Combo West.
Yes, Comedy I've done it from there before.
Nice. Yeah. There you go. Sam, it's nice to see you're surviving the plague.
Yes. It's I'm taking these pills, and everyone who's had them, these pills, what's the name of them?
Fentanyl?
No, hold on. It's right here. Hang on. It's
placebo?
Paxlovid.
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 And they say after 5 days, it's over. I hope that means you're cured.
Well, cure can mean a lot of things. I mean, ask a ham.
That's true.
So I in fact, I was at Whole Foods and it said it had uncured pepperoni. And I'm like, I didn't realize I was buying afflicted pepperoni previously, but I guess, what do we have Mother Teresa come down and bless it? I mean, is there something involving some sort of ritual deification or whatever? I mean, how is this purification attained?
Well, you know,
Mother Teresa
It's
come down.
you
Yeah,
my wife hates fish. Cannot eat fish.
Good woman.
Shrimp occasionally, but that's a or what do they call those little octopus that you fry?
Calamari.
Calamari.
She'll eat that. But Cass, or Andra, I should say, Andra had some salmon in the house, which she left in the fridge, I don't know, 3 weeks. Yeah. And I said to Barbara, I said, now listen, I'm going to get rid of it. Okay. So you're going to smell it just for a minute.
Right.
Do not bitch about it. Okay. There's no other way to get around it. Just please. And it was awful. I like fish. It was awful.
Mm-hmm.
That's like changing the cat litter box at Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment.
God, no, seriously, it was terrible. It just, it was, I'm trying to think of what it smelled like. Like Ivanka Trump's shoes.
Oh God, I got a perfume like that, but never mind. It's different.
It's called Evening and Daytime.
There you go. Afternoon in El Segundo.
Let
me ask you a question, guys.
Yeah,
go for it. Give it.
So J.D. Vance said, yes, I made up the whole story about the cat, the Haitians eating cats. And I did it. He sounded like a 5-year-old. He really did. This isn't a Democrat or Republican thing. He just sounded like an idiot. He goes, and I did that because she's getting all the attention and we're not getting any. And I thought, how old are you? Are you trying to be vice president,
Sam,
or get a letter sweater from your high school?
Two words for you, Sam. 2 words. Dan Quayle.
You know the thing about Dan Quayle I always respected, though?
Great speller?
When Dan... No.
No. Creative speller.
Can I tell you something?
Yes,
I'll bet you half of the people watching that thought he spelled it correctly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What, with the E or without?
With.
I'll
guarantee you they thought, so what's wrong with this?
I would have been.
Why is the E added when you
lie? I would have said, yeah, you're right. The E goes there, but I always thought it was kind of a 10%. Though remember, the whole thing was about the Candace Bergen having a baby on her TV series out of wedlock is what precipitated.
Did you see what she said at the Emmys? She see what she said at the Emmys last night?
Yeah, I did.
Candace Bergen?
Oh yeah.
They brought her back from beyond the grave. Great. What'd she say?
I wouldn't go that far, Jason.
Well, I would have sent her a message if she had. I tell you.
No, she mentioned Quayle.
She did.
Yeah.
She said that I was blessed with great writers, great directing, great script, and great cast members. And then she said, and then I had Vice President Dan Quayle, because when my character had a baby and I was going to raise it as a single woman, criticized me for doing that. And of course now, no Republican would do that because they'll criticize you for not having children. So no Republican. So look how far we've come. Basically, that's. I'm not saying.
Who was the showrunner on that show? Because it was a hit for quite some time.
If
memory serves.
He was the same guy who did.
Back when
show with Gene Smart and Dixie Carter.
Designing Women guy.
Same guy.
Was it Evening Shade?
Evening Shade 2. That was another one.
Yeah, he did that too.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember his name.
Hugh Wilson? Was it Hugh Wilson?
Yes.
Okay.
And Dixie Carter, by the way, did something that really pissed me off. In one of the shows, she had a beef with a guy who had a newsstand, and at the newsstand he was, he had Playboy and Hustler and all that, and she decided to take her car and run it into the newsstand.
Wow.
And I thought to myself,
somebody could have been hurt.
Are you actually a liberal? Are you really a liberal? I mean, you can write and print what you want. well, I found it offensive to women. 3 times she did this. And I kept saying to the woman I was with, I said, Cher, no. I said, listen, Charo, I'm going to keep doing it.
I love a good Charo
but
drop.
I said, I don't get that. I mean, you know, that's the thing in those days, you would accuse a Republican of doing.
Mm-hmm.
It was ridiculous. It was stupid and petty.
You know, I honestly think that the impetus, because I worked at a newsstand in the 90s in Ann Arbor up on Main Street. It was one of my side jobs. And we used to have a section, and it had gay porn, not hardcore, but it had like,
butts.
Butts.
You know what
inches,
it is. Come on, Mike. God damn.
Mark Sweetman's Top Choice number 10. But it also had it had heterosexual, Playboy pen, as you said, nothing hardcore. It wasn't like German Shiza bondage, whatever.
Then what's the point?
And I had that we had other places in town that sold that stuff. So we were sort of like for the guy who wants to, it's like he'd pick up The Economist.
I love that.
And you're doing
and of course a copy of Orgasm.
Harry, how much is Orgasm? and as he's leaving, he squeezes this old woman's tit. Oh God! Oh God!
You guys remember? Now Andy might remember it. I don't know if Sam ever worked with Eric Tunney, but you remember Eric Tunney's bit about that?
No, I don't. Sorry.
Basically, talking about he was Canadian, and he would talk about American drugstores and bookstores. He says, now these kind of books magazines are usually reserved for adults, because I'll go into a regular drugstore in the United States, and right there by the checkout where the lighting is good, you'll have your Newsweek, your Time, your U.S. News and World Report.
The lighting is good.
Well, as he's telling the story, he's going further away from the checkout counter, and the magazines and the lighting gets worse. He's describing the magazines and the lighting. That's what I thought was beautiful about it, because he's going. He goes. Now they're incandescent, but they're flickering. And now I'm reading. Now I look at the rack, and it's true crime dramas. And,
Roger.
But anyway,
right?
I
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I got to finish this. This is one of my. God, Eric Tunney. We just had his 60th birthday. He passed away at like 42, and we just had his 60th birthday. And every March 28th on the anniversary of his death, I always play a clip on my Facebook page. But anyway, back to the story. He finally gets down to. He goes, there's absolutely no light at all. The exit sign is flickering, and that's providing the only light. I look down there, and there's Ass Masters. I pick up the. Do you remember
Ass
this,
Master?
Yeah.
I pick up a copy of Ass Master. Hey! I yelled down to the checkout clerk.
That's my favorite song from Fiddler.
I gotta finish this.
He's an Ass Master on the roof.
This killed. I gotta finish this. He says, "Hey, it's April. You've got February's Ass Masters here." He goes, that's the last, and now he's yelling, that's the last one they brought in. But so much has happened in the world of ass mastering.
We're fresh out of Ass Master.
How can we keep up?
How are we supposed to go on? I mean,
how we go on? Oh my God.
What about Pissmaker? Can you get out a pair of Pissmakers?
A pair of copies. Eric Tunney, God bless his soul.
Yeah.
You remember Roger Rittenhouse?
Name sounds familiar. How would I know him?
Kyle's uncle.
Roger Rittenhouse, comedian.
Armorer.
No.
God, no. Sounds familiar. I never worked with him, but the name sounds really familiar.
Where
was he out?
Where was he? He had a hand missing. He had an accident. And he lost a hand.
Was he kind of like a strawberry blonde, reddish blonde hair type?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember.
I think so. Yeah, and he comes out on stage, right? And he goes, he holds up the stump, and he goes, "Goddamn petting zoo." and then he says, "Here's my impression of every audience member at Southern comedy clubs. Hey, everybody, I'm sorry I'm late getting here, but I had to do 2 lines of cocaine and take me a big old shit. Hey, he's good. Well, you know what that reminds me of, Roger. Mark, you remember Captain Rowdy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this guy, his real name was Aubrey something, I forget. And I wanted to work at one of Aubrey's clubs, and I think it was in Augusta. And Aubrey says to me, and Aubrey was a full-blooded Native American. And he says, not that this matters for the story, but it's just interesting. And he goes, Sam, have you ever heard of Captain Rowdy? And I went like this. Yes. Yes, I have. Because I know what's coming. And he goes, Sam, Captain Rowdy is the dirtiest act I have ever seen in my life. I will not let my mother come to see his show. But he puts more asses in the seats than you can imagine. Now, do you think you could do that kind of act? And I said, no. He said, are you sure? I said, let me think it over. No. I said, but here's the thing. I did a show one time in Vermont, and it took forever to get there. You know, it's Vermont, right? It was snowing. There was ice on the ground. This is before cell phones. And I finally get to the gig. I'm 45 minutes late. My hair was very long, and I had not a shower cap, a cap on, a ski cap on. And I pulled it over. When I took my cap off, I looked like Raggedy Andy.
Yeah.
Okay. Hair just wee like that. And I was furious. I was so goddamn mad. And I got on stage and I just shit on everybody. Just everybody. And this girl in the audience goes, I think you're great. I go, lick my nuts, whore. And they just exploded. They exploded. Everything I did. And so I said, I'm through with you fuckers. Good night. And they go, don't leave. Don't leave. And they passed the hat. This is 1989. They passed the hat and gave me another $400.
Nice.
And all I did was just insult them and demean them. And, and any other night I'd be getting punched in the mouth repeatedly.
But yeah, the first time I ever saw Judy Tenuta, I fell in love with her because she was doing the goddess thing.
Right.
And then she comes out for her encore and she's glowing and everyone's applauding. She looks at everyone and goes, you people mean nothing to me.
God, that's the greatest line ever.
Yeah. She just dealt it out. She was just so wonderful.
Do you remember when she was on, it might have been Merv Griffin, and she used to do this thing where she would take her chewing gum and spit it out.
Yes.
And so Betty White was on the show with her, and Betty White picks it up, the chewing gum out, and goes, I think this is yours, dear. and people are like laughing, and they say, and Judy goes, listen, don't laugh at Betty. You know she's uptight. You'd be uptight too if B. Arthur was hitting on you every fucking night. And people go like, oh. And she goes, oh, what, you didn't know B was in the Green Berets? Kiss my ass. But she was off stage. She was the nicest, sweetest person.
Yeah.
Judy.
Yeah.
And
I got a chance to interview her for the Current magazine here. And she was trying to not do the goddess. She was trying to do a straight version of comedy. And it worked pretty well, but it's like, still people were coming for the goddess, but it wasn't,
Well,
I heard the Current was electrifying. Forgive me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
They charge a lot.
The problem
it wasn't that electric, it's like.
But I put in a plug for you. Okay.
That's like when Haywood Banks tried to go back.
They saved it for the electrons, okay? All right, okay.
God, Haywood Banks, I haven't heard that name in ages.
Haywood.
What happened to him?
He's still around?
He's doing mostly musical things. He worked at the Arc, and he still works down in Indianapolis doing some of the clubs, but he's mostly selling those musical things that he does.
Yeah, but
I like Toast.
Like he'd have a card with that on it, and he'd hold it up and say, "What is that?" Or who put that there and stamp on it. I mean, silly.
No, my favorite one.
Stuff,
Ooh,
but smart.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was a
Ooh.
comic in Boston,
Oh.
and I cannot remember his name. Nice guy, and he said, "Let me give you my card." Now, it's a comedy club, right?
Right.
So it's nighttime, right? The card is black, and the print is black. And I said, "I'm assuming that you have developed superpowers, because there's no way I can read this." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "What do I mean? It's dark outside. The card is black, and the lettering is black." And this is his response: "Yeah, but it's raised."
Oh, right. Let me see if I can.
Oh, well, that makes it all better.
Well, the reason I brought up Haywood along with Judy is the same thing with Sam Kinison and Bobcat Goldthwait. If they try to do something, Dice Clay, they try to do something out of character, all their fans want the old. Nobody wants to go to a concert.
They'd leave. Their fans would leave.
Nobody wants to hear the Rolling Stones' latest album.
No,
they want all the
it's
stuff.
Good.
It is good. It is good.
It is
but I mean,
good,
but the thing is, they want the tunes that they know. Or okay, Chicago's latest album. Let's put it that way.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, that's Mark. Stop it. That's not happening.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, when you talk about Andrew Dice Clay, there was an article in Village Voice a few years ago. Well, it would have to be since they're online now. But and Andrew Dice Clay was performing at the Garden, Madison Square Garden, and he gets on stage, gets behind a drum set, and starts playing a song called "Brooklyn Bad Boy." And you set this up beautifully, Mark. Everybody in the audience got up and left.
Oh, because he's playing drums instead of joking?
Yeah. And the line the guy wrote was, it was as if they had no more use for his pathetic drum playing, and decided to leave him where he belonged.
Well,
Wow.
You know, you brought up something again about designing women, and it kind of hooks in a little bit here, because remember when Andrew Dice Clay was going to be on Saturday Night Live, and one of the female performers said, "Well, I'm not going to be on the same
Nora
stage."
Dunn.
Nora Dunn. It was? I mean, that's sort of when you started to see that sort of thing, because somehow or another Andrew Dice Clay was pushing the boundaries too far, and to me, like, if you don't like what he's doing, then you do something better. Go for it. Do it. Get out there.
Yeah, now we have Trump and Elon Musk hosting, so
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, look, going back to politics, Kamala got Liz and Dick to support her, so there you go.
Right.
I just like hearing the word Liz and Dick.
That's right. I want a 6-pack of Aquavova to go.
God, they talk about Liz and Dick Cheney these days, and I think of these two behind me. I'm going, oh my God, the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, I keep hearing Lizard Dick, so
But by the way,
well,
I don't know if you saw Jon Stewart.
About right.
But when he did a story about on his show about Dick Cheney.
It was just an aside. It wasn't even.
Oh no! And he looked into the camera and he went, "Fuck off."
Yes.
and it went on the air.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But here's the thing. I'm not arguing that Dick Cheney did a lot of shitty things, because he did. Okay.
Are you kidding? He's a fucking war criminal.
Okay.
Sorry. Go on.
I agree.
I'm sorry.
I agree.
I agree.
And if you can get a guy like that to say that he's voting for your person, fine. That's the way I feel. He's a horrible human being. But if you can get him to say, I will not support a Republican, I will support this liberal Democrat.
I'll bet you that 70% of the Trump supporters don't even know who Dick Cheney is.
70% of them can't spell Cheney, but I know they can spell.
They don't know who Dick Cheney is. They're not involved in politics. They're involved with Donald Trump.
It's a cult.
And with any politics, you can't tell me that even with Barack Obama or even Clinton back in '92 that there wasn't some sort of cult of personality.
Well,
nevertheless,
why is he getting assassinated? Why is it attacked? Because he is only dealing with emotions.
How to hire someone
He's only dealing with emotions. He's always
let me say something.
The audience,
This last thing with Trump at the golf course.
Yeah.
That was the lamest assassination attempt ever.
The guy
That's
never
what
fired a
happens
shot.
when you Democrats try and get an assassin off Timu.
I could not
You've
agree
got to
more.
do better.
Oh no, the first guy was a Republican. The first guy was a
No,
Republican.
he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
Yes,
Yes,
he
he
was.
was.
He registered.
Oh,
no,
no.
If you look at his
Yes,
gab,
He was a
feed,
Republican.
If you look
He was
at
a
his
Republican.
Gab feed, he
I'm
absolutely
sorry.
was not.
You can't keep.
Why
You can't
would
keep
a re-
using it.
no,
You can't.
no,
You shouldn't
no, he
overshout
wasn't.
Sam.
I'd like
Come
to
on.
interrupt.
You know why the second guy tried to shoot him, right?
I'd like to interrupt this little political discourse to let
Sorry.
everybody know that is Marlon Brando laying pipe into Romy Schneider.
Well, if
Bring
we
me the
can't
butter.
talk about politics,
You know,
civilly,
he's
we can-
always so nice to women. Look at him trying to butter her up.
How much
Yeah, butter. That's that butter. There's the
I want to
euphemism.
see the butter.
Parquet butter.
Butter.
I want the butter,
I
not
didn't.
parquet, no margarine. Bring
I
me some
saw
butter.
that movie when I was like 13 or 14 years old. It was like at
Yeah,
one of
me
these
too.
theaters where they were showing regular movie, and then over here they had Last Tango, and I like, okay, I've got to see this because it was rated X. It's like, this is an X-rated movie, and then I realized it was a real movie because I thought it would be something a little. I did not understand it at the time. I've since come to sort of have a deeper appreciation, especially about the culinary aspects of it. But
What?
what was that? Bernardo Bertolucci who did this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Friend of my father's, I said to him, this movie with and he goes, Maria Schneider. I go, yeah. What happened to her? He goes, roaring drunk.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it is. Pretty girl, roaring drunk.
That's not good. Not good. Not good for guys. It's definitely hard on the ladies. What was the Barfly? Who could forget Barfly? What a great movie. Who wrote that?
Firefly?
No, Barfly. That was based on
Mickey Rourke.
Bukowski.
Bukowski, yeah.
Bukowski, yes. Yeah. God, what
and Mickey Rourke.
And Meryl Streep.
No.
That was
it wasn't Faye
Iron
Dunaway
Weed with Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson. But
no, that's
that was
she
Prince's
yeah.
Honor. No, hold on, Meryl Streep.
By the way, at the Emmys,
yes,
there was Meryl
that was
Streep.
Faye Dunaway, wasn't it? Faye Dunaway?
Yeah, it was.
Her new boyfriend, Martin Short.
What happened?
Meryl Streep sitting next to her new boyfriend, Martin Short.
Yeah.
Oh.
At the Emmys?
Yep.
That's one way to get her to do another season.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Yeah.
Have
you guys watched the fourth season yet? Have you watched the beginning of the fourth season?
No, our Hulu subscription went away when we switched from Verizon to T-Mobile.
Oh, I see.
That's all of our television viewing is based on the free channels that we get from our cell phone operators.
Well,
so
what we're getting
makes sense.
when we were with
subscribe
Verizon, we had we had Hulu, Prime, and I can't remember what the other one was. Something else. Oh, we had Disney.
We've subscribed to RCN, which is a cable company, for 17 years.
Wow.
And Barbara said to me, "We're leaving this week."
How much
and
is it?
Why? She goes, $500 a month.
What?
Holy
You gotta be kidding me.
What?
No.
It's $500 a month?
Yeah, now the last time we paid it was $360, which still isn't great, but we're leaving. It's too much. We're getting
Absolutely.
Roku. We're going to get Roku and Prime, and
That'll
Well,
pretty much cover.
we bought Prime just for the free shipping on Amazon.
Yeah.
Of course, it was $80 a year back then. It's up to $130 now. But
Well, Mr. Bezos needs a new spaceship.
yeah, he needs it, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He needs a new super yacht. God, who can ever forget Sybil Shepherd at the end of Taxi Driver when she gets in the back of the cab and goes, "Hello, Travis," and she's just floating in the rearview mirror while that wonderful sax sound is playing in the background. Ah,
And Bernard Herrmann's music.
yes. God, that was Bernard Herrmann. That makes sense. That makes sense. You know, he also
That
did
sax solo.
Yes. He also did the music for Fahrenheit 451.
Oh, that was a great show.
Yeah, it is.
Oscar Werner.
Yeah, Oscar Werner, Julie Christie, and Ray Bradbury, who wrote the original Fahrenheit 451 on a pay-by-the-page rent typewriter in the UCLA library.
That's like Charles Dickens.
Was that the book? Was that the book that was part of a periodical? He wrote it like monthly for a periodical.
Yeah, originally yes, and then
eventually it became a book.
More. It became a book, and then a movie, and it's also that and Martian Chronicles. If you ever kind of down and out about your life or anything, listen to a couple Ray Bradbury stories, because he's prolific and he's on YouTube, or he was.
Y'all are talking about highfalutin literary shit.
We're about comedy here. What the hell are you guys talking about?
I want to talk about J.D. Vance's pants.
And his papers and his pens and people using words. And
why would J.D. go swimming in his shirt? What's wrong with him that he swims in his shirt?
Oh my God.
You afraid the X-rays are going to get him?
Did you hear? I can't. Somebody did a faux quote from Ron Howard, because Ron Howard did the film version of Hillbilly Elegy.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I can't remember one of the late night shows. Somebody said, Ron, when he's always mentioning, Ron Howard did the film version of his story. He's always mentioning, and Ron Howard said, I also did Apollo 13. Could you mention some of the other ones that I've done?
Apollo 13.
Oh, he did Cocoon. He directed Cocoon.
A Beautiful Mind.
A Beautiful Mind. Yeah.
A Hot Rod Summer.
Did he do American? He did American Graffiti, or did he not? No, he didn't do American.
No, American Graffiti was.
He was in American Graffiti.
American Graffiti was.
That was George Lucas, I think.
Lucas.
Yeah. One of the best ROIs of all time. Made for $200,000 and returned like $400 million by the time all was said.
And Suzanne Summers played the blonde.
Yep.
God,
the blonde and the T-Bird. Yeah.
And Harrison Ford.
Yep.
Was in a race car. Yeah.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
And that's how we got to go
Charles
ahead.
Martin Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the other guy who was like the Fonzie of that group.
Paul LeMat.
Yes.
God, Paul LeMat. Oh, great Canadian actor. He's in a movie called Strange Invaders with Louise Fletcher. And again, it's such a great takeoff of the 1950 science fiction films, where this small Ohio town has been the sort of property of aliens for the last 50 years, and he and his wife and family make the mistake of trying to spend the night there, and they're kidnapped by aliens and whatnot. And he eventually tells this story to a World Weekly midnight news kind of thing, and the aliens don't understand how the press lies and tells stories. And good movie.
And who got the Oscar nominations in American Graffiti?
No one.
Oh, did anyone? Did Lucas get a nomination?
I don't know, but none of the actors.
Candy Clark, Best Supporting Actress. She didn't win, but she got nominated.
Did she?
Yep.
She was also in At Close Range.
Yep.
Which is one of the best. Go ahead.
Is that the Madonna movie?
Huh? Yes, the one where she sang.
Great. That is an underrated. That is a really, really good movie.
Sean Penn,
Christopher
Penn,
Walken.
The brilliant Christopher Walken.
Yep. Really good movie, and it's got a couple skinny dipping scenes that I still replay on my wall every now and then. But never mind that.
That's not all you played on your wall, if you know what I mean.
Sam, I told you not to be peeking like that. For that, I'm taking away all your.
I'm
Kay
very
Parker
judgmental.
No more Kay Parker for you.
God damn
it! Talk about the time tunnel. There we go.
Hey, speaking of the time tunnel, did you have anything to talk about with James Darren, Sam?
I couldn't. I just know that's not his real last name. And he was in T.J. Hooker and Guns of Navarone.
There we go.
And I thought, say what you want, that bastard's got range.
Yes, he was good. He was really good.
And had a very long career.
Yeah, he was in quite a few films, but he's also did TV quite a bit.
And Godfather to Nancy Sinatra.
Really?
Oh wow! Did not know that. Wow.
Godfather to Nancy Sinatra.
That's why I'm here, fellas.
That's why. That's what he said. Yeah. Wow.
Oh my God!
And we have a little known secret: godmother to Frank Sinatra Jr.
Ah. Wow. Hey, do you think Frank Sinatra Jr.'s kidnapping was real or not?
I do.
I was reading about that not too long ago, and I'm like, I don't know if that was a setup or because you know how rich kids would do that. They'd arrange their own kidnapping. They say that's how Getty got into the problem he got into. You know,
who?
He needed,
before you get into Sinatra, the last name of Darren is Ercolani. Ercolani. How do you say that?
Carefully.
Yeah. Okay, go back to your Sinatra story. Go ahead.
When you finish your story, I've got the nominations for American Graffiti. More than you thought.
I'm sure. Well, no, let's hear it.
Academy Award nominations for American Graffiti: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, Best Film Editing, and Best Supporting Actress. They won none of those, but they got nominated. I mean, picture, screenplay, and director, that's all Lucas right there, man.
Yeah. You know what movie I thought should have had like a raft of Oscars? A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
I mean, how did Nicholson avoid getting nominated? And I'll tell you something else. People in Hollywood, God, I'm starting to sound like Andy Devine. Hey, Wild Bill. People in Hollywood must hate Tom Cruise because that fucker delivers great performance after great performance after great performance and never gets nominated.
Mm-hmm. Did he get nominated in The Color of Money?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
How about?
And I think he might have been nominated for what was that movie? The same year as Hotel New Hampshire.
Oh God, that movie.
Jack Nicholson was nominated for A Few Good Men. Did we lose Sam?
Wow.
I think we did. But I've got Betty Page.
Oh, there you go.
Well, that's something.
Well, I'm gonna save my Sam stuff for when he gets back. Oh, here he is. All right, here you go. You want your A Few Good Men nominations? You want them?
I'm sure Rob Reiner was nominated.
Rob Reiner was nominated producer for Best Picture, not for director. Jack Nicholson was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. And what else we got here? That's it. Everything else was golden. Tom Cruise did get the nomination for Best Actor for a Golden Globe, but who cares about those? We just stick with it.
Well,
which one?
The Golden Globes. Tom Cruise got a nomination for that.
But they must hate him. I mean, so many.
Rob Reiner did win the Directors Guild Award.
Okay.
Yeah,
but not the Oscar.
Richard Burton, did he ever win? I know that.
No.
They eventually
he was nominated for Equus. He was nominated for Who's Afraid of Virginia
Woolf.
Woolf.
Wait a minute. No, that's Golden Globe. Man.
He had to have been nominated for Beckett. No?
Beckett. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
But then again, you're up against, in some of those years, you're up against Paul Scofield in A Man for All Seasons. Paul Newman loses Cool Hand Luke to Scofield that year, if memory serves.
The worst ripoff that Newman ever suffered was losing for The Verdict to Ben Kingsley. You've got to be shitting me.
Oh yeah, no, that
because they should have renamed Gandhi 48 Hours.
And of all the people,
all right, here's the biggest award that A Few Good Men won. It was made for $40 million, made $243 million.
Sweet Jesus!
Wow.
Good ROI. I went on a big Lola Falana thing, so I ended up with a bunch of West Side Story. Can't help it.
One final thing: Vic Fontaine was a character in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. That was
Darren's
last
last role. Yeah.
So it was good. He had a great career, and if you get a chance to look at those are really quite cool. So
isn't it amazing that Dick Van Dyke won an Emmy this year at the age of 98?
That is awesome.
wow.
A daytime Emmy.
Was that a daytime show?
Daytime Emmy.
Got it. It was for that's right. He's in which soap opera?
I don't know, but it had to be a daytime Emmy because that fucker's asleep by 6.
Yeah.
Oh, some got sundown.
They don't make all those shows at night that they show. Right? All of those are recorded between 4 and 6.
So tell me, Mrs. Van Dyke, you're 72 and your husband's 98. What's that like? The smell.
What's the sex
like? The aroma of decaying flesh.
You heard.
Well, speaking of 98-year-olds, I already told you guys that Mel Brooks did 90 minutes of questions and answers after he showed Blazing Saddles. What a trooper!
And he's an Oscar winner.
Yeah.
Although when you hear the story, when he's trying to get the producers together, and of course he wanted to call it Springtime for Hitler, and they're like, "There's no effing way you're going to call our movie Springtime for Hitler."
And he's a songwriter.
Yeah.
High anxiety.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
The whole
that was a great show.
The Gucci bags and Count Basie and the orchestra's out there in the middle of the desert playing
with the Gucci saddle.
Yes,
Andy, before you got to the show last night, they were actually playing Blazing Saddles back by the bar during our show.
He wore a blazing saddle. He wore a
shining star. Frankie Lane Lane singing that. What a great touch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just.
By the way,
John Wayne was offered Waco Kid and turned it down. He didn't want to be associated with that.
Thank God.
I know.
Thank you, God.
Well, yeah, Gene Wilder is perfectly cast in that particular.
He was. What movie really enraged him? High Noon.
Wow.
Yes, he thought that was a pox on the whole America and the Western genre, and he was mad at Gary Cooper, wouldn't speak to him.
Furious.
Yes. And it seems to me that Gary Cooper probably was intelligent enough to figure out what role he wanted to do or not do.
Well, Gary Cooper was not the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree. I saw him testify before the McCarthy committee.
Right.
And this is exactly what he said. You ready? He goes, well, I don't know much about communism. I haven't read much about it. And I can't really define it. But from what I hear, it's not on the level. You have just failed civics. Go home.
Was that Keith?
That can't be too far from Trump's description of communism.
No, that's much better than Trump's.
Yeah.
I told you, one of the things I wish that she had done when he called her a Marxist is she had looked at him and said, what is Marxism?
Yeah.
Tell us what Marxism is.
It involves a fake mustache and pair of horn-rimmed glasses.
Oh, and when he brought up that her father was a Marxist professor,
he was.
She should have. Yeah. So come back with what Donald Trump's dad was. Your father was a racist landlord.
Well, in New York, yeah, that's pretty much de rigueur. I mean, he's the only one, I think.
Mr. Trump, this is a debate. Could you stop rubbing yourself?
Did you see how he was a little bit caught off guard when she shook his hand?
That was the move. That was the move of that debate.
And just a few days after that, Joe Biden is putting on a Trump hat in a little delicatessen or a diner in Pittsburgh or out in Pennsylvania. Sam, I know you disagree with me on this, but I argue again that Biden is working very subtly to submarine her campaign. I think that
They used to say the same thing about Clinton and Hillary.
I think he's salty. I think he's pissed that he's been forced out, and he's going to do these little digs that you can't do anything about.
If he's trying to force her out, he's doing a shitty job. When he left office, he was 8 points down. She's 4 points up now.
I thought she should have. They should have got him to resign. They should. They should have 25th amended him or something where he says, given that I cannot go forward with this process, I think it's best to turn the reins of the office over to vice president side piece and go on that way. They didn't do that. Maybe they couldn't get the deal done. I don't know, but
well,
sidelined him.
What would have made my year is if he had said, I'm unable to continue, and I would like to turn this over to the Schwarzer. If I could just.
Well, he should have never been running. They should have had a conversation with him 3.5 years ago to say, listen, Joe, you're going to have the time of your life, 4 years, all kinds of groovy stuff's going to, your family's going to get everything they need. It's all going to, you're going to have a big old presidential library.
Well, they did.
It's over.
They did.
But he said he wanted to be a one-term president and then turn it over.
Well, wish granted.
They did.
But
so what happened to Joe is he got settled into the job, and that's what happened.
Well, they should have found some way to see if that kind of hornswoggling was I don't know.
Hey,
you know what we have? You know we do have that.
Let me put it this way: I can't say anything for Sam, but if you're over like his age, this is your last shot. This is it.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, his last trot was 20 years ago, dude.
No, man. In his mind, it was now.
When
Obama
did him the favor, when Obama did him the favor of pulling him out of the Senate, and that way giving him 8 years to be in Obama's shadow, just to do whatever he's told to do when he's told to do it, and nothing else.
And by the way,
so do you hate every vice president? Jeez.
Pretty much, yeah.
The best line he had was, "You were fired by 81 million Americans."
That was a great line.
That was the best line.
That was a great line.
Yeah.
Here are the song lyrics to
Living
He
and
Wore
Dead.
a Blazing Saddle.
Oh, good. I want to hear this.
He wore a blazing saddle. He wore a shining star.
Preach,
His
bro.
job's to offer battle to bad men near and far. He conquered fear and he conquered hate. He turned our night into day. He made his blazing saddle a torch to light the way. When outlaws rule the world,
you'll never beat him.
And
He's too much
fear
man for
filled
me.
the land. A cry went up for a man with guts to take the West in hand. They needed a man who was brave and true, with justice for all his aim. Then out of the sun rode a man with a gun, and Bart was his name. Yes, Bart was his name.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's too much man for you. Believe me, I know it.
You do it for
You're
Randolph Scott.
budget, verkackt, verfehlt, beeinfalt. You Teutonic twat. Oh, how about
You can't
how about
do that
this?
to me.
How about if we kill the firstborn? Too Jewish.
Taggart, go into town and get a
Slim Pickens.
shitload of
How about we
dimes.
kill the firstborn? You-wee! Shoot! Who's been eating those beans? Anyway,
Y'all jumping around like a bunch of Kansas City faggots. Now get to work.
What
oh,
are the
shoot,
what
some of
the
this guy go
what
all the way
world
back
of
here, a whole
sports is
shitload
going
of dimes. Come on.
The Camptown ladies. The Camptown ladies.
What?
I get no kick from cocaine.
Dear
No, that's not
alcohol.
one of them,
Yes.
You can't hit him. He hit funny. Come on, girls.
Come on, girls.
Listen, Marshall, I'm very sorry about the up yours nigger. And I brought you this pie. I'm sure you'll have the human politeness not to mention that I actually spoke.
Spoke to you. Oh, God.
There you go.
Don't know
Lamar,
the move
can't you see
or
that
the
this
nigger
guy,
gets
can't you see that this man is a nit?
it. He says the sheriff is a.
Are we awake?
Yeah.
Are we?
Are we
Are we
black?
And of course, they dip the toe into existentialism with, no, Mongo not in love, Mongo straight, Mongo just pawning game of life, which cementing his cred for the rest of the
Listen,
time.
you can't be
See
upset.
that?
You
see
can't
that?
be upset, Bart. These are
You see
simple
that?
folk, country folk.
But I shot with this
You
one.
know,
That was good.
morons.
You see how steady that hand is?
Yeah.
Shoot with
When I
this
shoot
one.
with this one,
one.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. Oh God. Oh, I like the way the hat works. Yeah, dig it. All right.
Where are we now?
I don't know. I'm doing some Betty
We
Grable.
have
What are you
5 minutes.
doing? I mean, and of course they follow up all the great one lines in that with Young Frankenstein. And there are many great scenes with what great knockers. Thank you.
What great knockers? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I was. Why are you going? I was going to make espresso.
That's right. Where they're going.
You know,
Rob,
I found out why.
Rob Bucher.
Whatever I do,
why,
when I close this
Rob
door,
Lowe was unbilled in Tommy Boy. Did I tell you about that?
No.
yeah, wasn't it like a money thing or a
No,
credit
not at
thing?
all. Not at all. He was already shooting another movie.
Oh, you told us.
And the union will not allow you to do that. But he really liked Farley. He loved him. So he said, I'll do it for nothing. Well, that's what happened with Bruce Willis in Nobody's Fool.
Oh, yeah.
He appeared as an extra in The Verdict.
Yep.
And if you ever watch that movie, if you look straight back behind Paul Newman, you will see him.
Yeah.
And so he said, I will do this movie for nothing, because that movie was like an acting class. You had Lindsay Krause, Milo O'Shea, Paul Newman. Jesus Christ. I mean, James Mason.
Yep.
Yes.
James Mason is the Black Prince and Charlotte.
He's the Prince of fucking Darkness. You hear me?
He's the Prince. He's the Prince
That was words that you want to go to trial? You know who you're going against? He's the Prince of fucking Darkness. That's who he is.
Hey, Frank, look on the bright side. At least there's not a Jew up on the bench. And a friend of mine asked me, he said, does that line upset you? I said, I lived in Boston.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That line was accurate beyond belief.
Charlotte Rampling, who all she has to do is show up.
Oh, man, was she great.
All she has to do is show up. And
Jack Warden.
Jack Warden. Again, he's sort of like in that Eli Wallach.
Louis Stadlin.
Yep. These people, you can just give him a couple of lines, let him walk. Don't worry about. You don't even have to direct him. He knows.
James Handy, who played the girl's father, brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law, right? Who punches Paul Newman. We heard you had a deal, and you don't you understand? He got the accent just right. And
by the way, when Newman had that panic attack,
yes,
in the bathroom,
yeah.
Oh man, and Ben Kingsley won. You got to see, Ben. And they asked Ben Kingsley, was he upset about that? He said, "No, I don't think so. I think it's very."
To me, my favorite part of that movie, The Verdict, is the opening scene. It just totally.
Well, when he's playing pinball,
puts into a synopsis what's going on here. He's sitting there playing against a pinball machine, and there's always, no matter how long you go, you're gonna lose. It's like, and he's trying to struggle to win.
Robert Klein had this joke where he said, "The food at my cafeteria in high school was so bad, the starving people of India turned it down." He said, "Oh no. Thank you very much. Yes, we are starving. Excuse me, is that Navy bean soup from Fillmore High? No, thank you very much." No.
Or how about Bill Thomas's line? You remember Bill Thomas's line?
No.
Beats again.
All right, kids, it's getting to be that time.
All right, Tom Cruise's nominations.
Hurry up, we've got less than a minute. Hurry up.
Best Picture, Top Gun Maverick. Best Picture, Actor 2000, Magnolia. Best Picture nomination, Jerry Maguire. Best Actor nomination, Born on the 4th of July.
Well, I'm glad, because he's brilliant. He is a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
And he should have won by now.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about these topics and others.
Well, he'll join the ranks of
Jack Reacher, goddammit.
When we get together next week, Monday nights at 8 o'clock, it's the off night.
Tell that to Peter O'Toole, who got nominated 10 times and never won.
Oh, you had to go and say it.
Deborah Carr got nominated a lot.
There you go. She got driven now and then, too.
I'm not going to do an outro. I can never get the outro in.
Okay.
You might as well.